What's up? Welcome back to Trash Man MMA. It's yours truly, and we're going over Fight Night. Bonfim versus Brown just wrapped up. Post-fight interview still going on right now. What a card, man. I missed the first few fights, but holy you know what I'm saying? All 5 fights in the main event, all finishes, or in the main card, I should say, all finishes. Honestly, prelims were a little lackluster. I don't know why this fight's opened up. Prelims were a little lackluster, but we're going to get into it, man. We're going to start off with the first fight of the night, which was Zachary Reese versus Jackson McVeigh. I picked Jackson McVeigh to win this by finish in the second round, I believe. It was actually Zachary Reese who got the finish in the second round. He got it by rear naked choke. I was at work while this fight was going on. Oh my gosh, they're replaying the Randy Brown knockout. Oh my goodness, my heart is shattered into a million pieces. Zachary Reese gets his ass beaten for the first 5 minutes of the fight. Not 5 minutes. Jackson McVeigh though is doing a good job in the clinch, throwing elbows, landing elbows, knees to the midsection. Zachary Reese couldn't really get any offense off until the second half of the first round. That's when he started throwing elbows back in the direction of Jackson McVeigh, actually landing good elbows and good shots. But Jackson McVeigh still clearly in control of the first round. Zachary Reese gets him down, holds him down for quite a bit, probably for the final 2 minutes or a minute and a half. Second round, going into the second round, Jackson McVeigh never been into the second round, and immediately just his skill, he turns into Michael Chandler. Immediately into the second round. Zachary Reese shoots a takedown, gets the takedown, and just folds him up into a pretzel, rear naked choke. Jackson McVeigh doesn't fight hands, doesn't do anything, gets submitted in the second round. This kid's a fraud. He honestly, if you go 0-2 in the UFC both by finish, you should probably get cut, just being honest. So Zachary Reese gets it done on short notice, man. Good job for Zachary Reese. I usually shit on fighters for taking fights on short notice, but Zachary Reese looked in great shape. Maybe he was a little bit sluggish and not as quick twitch out there as he'd usually be, seeing as how that first round happened. But Zachary Reese gets it done in the second round, man, on short notice. Good job for Zachary Reese taking this fight. I questioned it for a little bit, but good job, Zachary Reese. I get that pick wrong. On to the next fight, Miles Johns versus Daniel Marcos. Daniel Marcos kind of just out-controls Miles Johns for just essentially 10 minutes. I forget the submission that he got. I think it was a guillotine. I still don't know. I was at work while I was watching this. I don't know. Tisha Pennington, I also got that pick wrong. Tisha Pennington versus Denise Gomez. Denise Gomez kind of just outdoes the 30. She's so hot, bro. I don't care that she's like 36. She's so fucking hot. Denise Gomez outdoes her, though, for like 15 minutes. Just class, class. Absolute class. Josh Hawkins versus Max Gimis. Oh, I got this pick right. Denise Gomez. Dude, they keep replaying this fucking Randy Brown loss, bro. This shit's genuinely pissing me off. Josh Hawkins versus Max Gimis. Max Gimis, obviously we knew this. He's a jiu-jitsu nerd. Not nerd, but he's a jiu-jitsu specialist, grappling specialist. We all knew that he wouldn't have anything on the feet. Josh Hawkins, apparently he was a good wrestler. Obviously former 49er player, NFL. But he gets it done after a low kick, though. Let's say this guy is the Zhang Mingyang, or the Mingyang Zhang of heavyweight. Or they're probably all that way. None of them can probably defend low kicks, to be honest. But Max Gimenez, like 15 seconds in, launches a low kick at Josh Hawkins. Noticeable effect. Already he's limping on it. He's looking like Randy Brown out there. Just has no idea what a low kick is. Starts kind of, stepping on it funny. He keeps picking up his left leg, trying to get the blood circulating. But right hand over the top, lands on Jimenez, drops him, gets back up. Exchanges follow. Max Jimenez gets cracked again, dropped again, reaches for a takedown, or reaches for a single leg. Hotchkiss defends, postures off of him. Jimenez is kind of curled up a little bit, and then just right hand after right hand after right hand as Max is trying to get up. Josh Hawkins lands perfectly with 3 or 4 shots right on the chin of Max. Fourth one sends him to the shadow realm out cold. Josh Hickic, a minute KO flat. Very impressive by Josh. Can't wait to see what this guy can do, although very clear stop. Very clear weakness in his game. Mara Bueno Silva versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Jacqueline Cavalcanti outdoes Mara Bueno Silva. Mara Bueno Silva should get cut. She hasn't won a fight. That she's had five fights in a row that has not led to a win by her. She is shit. She is dog shit. She is terrible. She is the worst ranked contender by far in any division, male and female. She is the worst. Cut her now. Nobody cares about her. I promise you that. UFC, you will be saving tens of thousands of dollars on every card that you want her here because she is not worth the space. She fought for a UFC title 1 year ago, and 1 year later, she is on a fight night prelim. Not even in front of a crowd. A fight night in the Apex. Cut her now. Jacqueline Cavalcanti outdoes her for 15 minutes straight. On to the next. Ricky Simone versus Ronnie Barcelos. Now, I posted on my Twitter, what a scrap, because this fight actually was a fucking scrap. This was a fight. I enjoyed every single second of this. It was really entertaining. I thought Ricky Simone won the first round, and then I thought Ronnie Barcelos narrowly won the second. Maybe with these significant strikes, maybe I didn't watch it as closely as I thought. But yeah, Ronnie Barcelos won the second round and then won the third round. Pretty clearly, he won the third round. In the first round, though, we'll get into this. Ricky Simone went through some trouble. Ronnie Barcelos landed 2 clean uppercuts in a row, and it was a kind of telling of how the rest of the fight would go because both guys kept landing uppercuts. It was actually very fun to see. You don't see many people throwing uppercuts and efficient or effective uppercuts. There you go. Ronnie Barcelos lands 2 in a row, kind of rocking Ricky Simone. Ricky Simone coming back with one of his own. I guess they're both short and stocky guys. Where they could both land him in tight. Ricky Simone gets Ronnie Barcelos. Looks like he hurts Ronnie Barcelos bad in the first round. Ronnie Barcelos backs up to the fence, kind of on wobbly legs. Ricky Simone not really able to find a kill shot or find picture-perfect follow-up shots. Ronnie Barcelos survives. They get into scrambles. Ricky Simone is able to outdo him in the first, but there's just a snowball effect. Ronnie Barcelos comes back, wins rounds 2 and 3, and man, this guy's on an absolute tear. He has to get a ranked fighter next. There's no way you beat Ricky Simone, Peyton Talbot, and those are the only guys that I'm aware of on his 4-fight win streak. But, bro, Peyton Talbot and Ricky Simone are goated fighters. Peyton Talbot is getting fucking top 10 or probably 11th ranked Henry Cejudo right now. Ronnie Barcelos deserves a 8th, 7th ranked opponent. Ronnie Barcelos is really good. His last loss probably being to Umar. Maybe it's not, though. But Ronnie Barcelos, man, he's on a tear. Unk still got it, bro. Check out my IG. I posted a funny meme of Ronnie Barcelos. On to the next. Haider Emil versus Jamal Emmers. Haider Emil looked good. He looked game. But at the end of the first round, I feel like you could just obviously tell he was already a little bit gassed. End of the first round, second half of the first round, and he's like, that body posture is not looking well. And Jamal Emmers did a great job of mixing in the striking and the wrestling. Anytime Haider Emil will get a little bit too far, or anytime Haider Emil would get a little bit too close, or even a little bit too far, Jamal Emmers would notice that and just shoot a takedown, dragging him down. They were all picture-perfect takedowns. He landed 2, but I could have sworn, oh no, full fight. He landed 7 of his 8 takedowns. Very good. He landed 2 in the first, 3 in the second, and 2 in the third. All great. I believe he kept going for that arm triangle, and very prevalent in the third and the second, but none of them were really tight. The one in the third was the closest, or I believe it was a rear naked choke attempt, maybe by Jamal Emmers, but either way, you could see the whiteness all on Haider Emil's face, kind of like Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso in their first fight, when Alexa Grasso gets her in that rear naked choke, but it's not a rear naked choke, it's a neck crank, because her forearm is pressing right on the neck, and when she lets go, you see you see Valentina Shevchenko's chin all white and the rest of her face all red. You saw that happening with Hyder Emil and Jamal Emmers in the third round, but Jamal Emmers kind of just outdoes them, outgrapples them, outstrikes them in the second and third with the competitive first round. But I believe Jamal Emmers, I'm pretty sure on every judge's scorecard, he won every single round. So 30-27, Jamal Emmers gets it done after Hyder Emil takes this fight on short notice, which just wasn't good for him. And he got cracked a lot as well. Jamal Emmers landed so many good shots, so many good slapping left hooks, but Hyder Emil was in there. There were points in times where Jamal Emmers' body language wasn't looking too good. But yeah, I feel like at the end of every round, Jamal Emmers would land the final good shot. And it wasn't just like a single jab. It was like a right hand that Hyder Emil would kind of roll with, but it still land with heavy impact. So Jamal Emmers got that done easy. And on to the main card, Christian Leroy Duncan versus Marco Tulio. I don't think anybody saw this one coming. Christian Leroy Duncan literally just mogs Marco Tulio for fucking 10 minutes straight or 8 minutes straight, however long the fight lasted. Marco Tulio, the guy that beat Yusri Belgario, a former world kickboxing champion at whatever fucking promotion he was at, Glory. The guy that has a win over Alex Pereira, I'm pretty sure. Alex Pereira's training partner. Marco Tulio outdid that guy for 15 minutes straight. Christian Leroy Duncan, CLD, comes in here, puts a beating on Marco Tulio. Literally a beating. If you guys seen that Spider-Man clip where they're in the wrestling in the first Tobey Maguire movie, he's like, "You're going nowhere. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime." Literally CLD that entire 8 minutes. It was just a masterclass. He outdid Marco Tulio in the first round. I don't know how Marco Tulio is up on significant strikes. Christian Leroy Duncan outdid him in the clinch. He cut him open as well. Marco Tulio had a cut open on his forehead, little gash. Oh, that was total. Okay, so there were evens in the first round, 8-8, with the cut for CLD and a good slapping right hand. And then in the second round, man, yeah, Marco Tulio was picking it up at the beginning, at the very beginning of the second round. A lot of them were clinch strikes and whatnot, but CLD just literally constant pressure at the beginning of the second round. I will say that CLD did look like his body posture wasn't looking all too good. Like he was kind of fatiguing and he was looking a little bit tiresome. But Marco Tulio kind of constantly looked tired, but he always looked game. While Christian Leroy Duncan, he looked tired, but he didn't look all too game. But that goes out the window when you land a fucking spinning back fist right on the chin of Marco Tulio. Make him doing the fucking Bobby Green chicken leg dance. CLD follows up with the right hand, I believe. Drops Marco Tulio brutally. Like literally face down, ass up. Most embarrassing way you can ever be put to sleep. CLD follows up with 2 more hammer shots right on the fucking picture perfect chin on Marco Tulio's chin. Just right there as his face is smushed into the canvas. Absolute brutal knockout by CLD. Man, this guy is one of the funnest middleweights to date. I gave that title to RoboCop after RoboCop beat CLD, but man, RoboCop and CLD are fucking problems, dude. Absolute fucking problems in this division. I want RoboCop to get a ranked fight next. I believe he does, and CLD, I do believe he deserves a nearly outside top 15, maybe that 15th ranked fighter. Marco Tulio, man, what a setback. But you know, at the end of the day, that guy that commented on my video, I guess he was right. You know, Marco Tulio did get wobbled by Trayshawn Gore in the first round and nearly put out, and it just, his tool bag just didn't look as deep as it was in that fight. And I think when you're fighting such a short guy like Trayshawn Gore, you can style on him. But when you're fighting a fighter who's just as big as you, if not bigger, which CLD was, he was noticeably bigger frame-wise and height-wise, you're not able to style on him. You're not able to pull out those spinning back kicks. You're not able to do those things that you're able to do to Trayshawn Gore. So CLD gets him up out of there in the second round. What a devastating KO and an amazing performance. Chris Padilla versus Ishmael Bonfim, the weight misser and the cheater, groin shotter. Fuck this guy. Fuck Ishmael Bonfim. He's 2-3 in the UFC. His only wins are Terrence McKinney and Vince Patel. Cut that guy. Chris Padilla though didn't look all too good in his own right. Ishmael Bonfim was kind of taking over the fight. In my opinion, he won the first round. Chris Padilla, they were throwing strikes. They were going strike for strike, but I always thought Ishmael Bonfim was getting the better of him. And then in the second half of the first round, Chris Padilla is clenching him up, but he's only landing knees, and Ishmael Bonfim is landing just as many knees, but Ishmael Bonfim is actually landing his knees to the sternum of Chris Padilla, while Chris Padilla is kind of just landing like odd angled knees to Ishmael Bonfim's knees. He was going like knee on knee attack. I thought Bonfim won the second round, and I thought he was piecing up, not even thought, he was definitely piecing up Chris Padilla in the second round, just nonstop shots, every angle. Chris Padilla was kind of getting embarrassed on the striking. Ishmael Bonfim was just doing this fucking striking masterclass on Padilla, if we're really being honest. But honestly, Bonfim literally gassed out just from beating his ass. Bonfim gassed out from beating Padilla's ass. He got so tired of the work that he was putting in on Chris Padilla that he actually gassed out and kind of let Chris Padilla finish him. I picked Chris Padilla. I'm not coping right now. I picked Chris Padilla to win, but this is an unequivocal truth. Ishmael Bonfim was whooping Padilla's ass and got gassed out from it and allowed Padilla, kind of just gave him the finishing sequence. He just put his head into the canvas and said, yeah, Padilla, I'm ready to be finished with ground and pound strikes. Oh, you only want to throw one every 10 seconds? That's fine. I'll just keep my head right here for 30 seconds straight and allow you to finish me. Bonfim gassed out. He's a quitter. We've kind of known this about him. He's a quitter. Chris Padilla takes advantage of it after getting his ass beat. But I got my pick right. So Chris Padilla, good job. I'm not impressed by this performance whatsoever. We're gonna have to hold the hype train on Chris Padilla a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? But on to the next fight. This one actually hurt. This one hurt bad. Muslim Salikov versus Uros Medic. Uros Medic doesn't get hurt in the first round, and he finishes Muslim Salikov in the first round in 1 minute and 3 seconds. Both looking good. I don't even know if, I didn't even see Muslim Salikov really land anything on Uros Medic, if I'm really being honest. All we really saw, maybe there's a head kick that landed at one point from Uros Medic, but all we really saw was that left or right hand, straight down the middle, clean as a whistle on Muslim Salikov. I was calling for Muslim Salikov to do it. I was like, hey, bro, 1-2 down the middle, 1-2 down the middle, 1-2 down the middle. Uros Medic has a problem with range at the beginning of the fight, so if you just throw that 1-2 at the beginning of round one, you have a 9 out of 10. You have a 90% chance of landing it and catching him and dropping him. Muslim Salikov isn't really his style, though. He's a kicker, he's a rangy kind of guy. Uros Medic decides to go in with the 1-2, dropping him with the first shot, KOing Muslim Salikov in the very first round in devastating fashion. Man, this really sucked for me. I really wanted Muslim Salikov to win. I really wanted that fight with Muslim Salikov versus Wonderboy. I thought that would have been perfect. But Muslim Salikov, gets knocked out in the first round. GG, bro. Good job. On to the co-main event. Match now versus Joseph Morales. Joseph Morales gets a guillotine in the first round. There was some good striking exchanges from both. All good in the hood. The match now was looking all right. The grappling exchanges were looking all right. But they just get in a scramble, and Joseph Morales puts him in a fucking crucifix, lands little tippy-tap elbows from his positioning. But then he just transitions to a guillotine, gets it from the bottom, I believe, and Match Now is forced to tap. And that'll probably be Match Now's career, And this really has me worried. Chat, I think Steve Urseg's a fraud. Chat, I really think Steve Urseg is a fraud. I mean, if we're being brutally honest here, guys, I think Steve Urseg is a fucking fraud. And that hurts me to say. Look, bro, you can be a lower ranked fight. You can be an unranked fighter and have a competitive fight with the top guys. We seen it with Manel Cap. Felipe Dos Santos, unranked, took it on short notice against Manel Cap, and he took him to a competitive 30-27. Yeah, he lost every single round, but it was a competitive fight. And Felipe Dos Santos goes on to lose every single one of his fights. He lost, I don't care what anybody says, he lost that, Felipe Dos Santos lost his next fight to Victor Almatrano, and then he lost to Andre Lima, and then he loses to Loner Kavanagh. And he kind of had a competitive scrap with Manel Cap, you know. It just really puts it into perspective that these guys, or not these guys, but flyweights can make it competitive. No matter how low in the rank you are, no matter how, short notice you're taking it on, these flyweights are always going to be competitive with each other. And I think, not even think, Steve Urseg's resume is just aging poorly by the second. Matt Schnell, it took him to the second round to finish him. Cool, bro. Who doesn't finish Matt Schnell with the KO? Joseph Morales just did it more impressive. Alessandro Pantoja, that was his close fight. Gets knocked out by Kai Kara France. Gets outdone by Brandon Moreno. Has a narrow victory over Ode Osborne. That second round can go to either or. I'm going on a Steve Urseg tangent, but Steve Urseg has to get an impressive win ASAP. I'm not going to let an unranked Ode Osborne win, justify you being in the top 15. Steve Urseg is looking a little worrying right now, but Joseph Morales gets it done in the first round over match now. Good job, Joseph Morales. On to the main event. Gabriel Bonfim versus Randy Brown. Fuck, man. This one broke my heart. Literally broke my heart. But you can't be... I don't understand how you're in the UFC for a decade and don't know how to check a fucking low kick. Do you know what a calf kick is, Randy Brown? Maybe you need to have a podcast with Joe Rogan. Maybe you need a Joe Rogan one-on-one session, bro. And I felt like Joe Rogan during that first round because every single low kick Bonfim would throw, Randy Brown would just take it. And then either that or he would lift his leg up and just not even do anything about it. It wasn't even like a proper check defense. It was like I think I've seen other fighters do this. Let me try and mimic them. It was like he didn't practice a calf kick defense. It's like he's never practiced calf kick defense. And just from memory, he saw a fight one time where somebody did it, and he was like, oh, let me try that out right now. And he just takes every single strike right on the calf. Doesn't do anything about it. I think live I had it 15-12. Significant strikes in favor of Bonfim. Randy Brown had a little bit more if you want to count little tippy-tappy low kicks. But I thought Bonfim was pretty clear in control in the first round. Outdid Randy Brown. No clinch necessary. Absolutely none. Zero clinch necessary. Zero. No wrestling. No takedown threat. Nothing. Just feet for feet outdid Randy Brown, an excellent striker. It was actually insane to see. And then the second round, Randy Brown does come out with a mean intention. And I'm like, all right, let's go. That's what we needed. And he comes out, double jab, low kick, jab. He gets like 5 up on Bonfim before Bonfim lands anything. Bonfim then ties it up later in the fight, probably like 2 minutes in. They're at 9-9 on strikes. Bonfim does a good job. He actually does like a Pantoja type style. If you remember Pantoja versus Kai Kara France, when he does that, Kai Kara is on the retreat, and Pantoja engages with 2 calf kicks back to back to like Randy Brown to Kai Kara's like rear legs. That's what Bonfim does to Brown. Brown is very stationary after exchanges, and so Bonfim kind of takes advantage of that. Brown ends the exchange kind of with his body kind of narrow towards Bonfim. So Bonfim takes the opportunity, low kick right on the backside of the calf of Randy Brown on his left leg. Deadens up that leg. Randy Brown was walking all funny already in the first round, but in the second round, the first clinch exchange, man, and that's why I like to harp on the clinch. That Bonfim didn't need it in the first round. First time they clinch up in the second round, knee up the middle from Bonfim puts Randy Brown right on the fucking mush of Brown. Bonfim actually landed that knee earlier in the first round. Didn't look like it landed all too flush though. Kind of looked like it was. It definitely looked like it connected, but it wasn't all really there. It was like Bonfim didn't get his knee up high enough. But in the second round, he pulls Randy Brown's neck a lot further down, so his knee doesn't have to reach as high up, and he connects right on the mush of Brown, setting him down. Bonfim also trips backwards, falls on his ass, but this was a good stoppage in my opinion. I was in MMA Guru's chat, in the commentators as well. They were saying, iffy stoppage. I think it was a picture-perfect stoppage. A knee to the mush of Brown, literally sinks in like a chair, slams his head, slams the back of his head on the canvas. And as you see him going down, his eyes are cross-eyed, not even looking at Bonfim. He's dead in there. In that split seconds, he's dead in his head. He's cross-eyed going down, slams his head on the canvas. That probably woke him up a little bit, if we're being honest, from being KO'd. But off rip, first thing he does is just covers up. You don't need more after that, after getting brutally dropped like that. Maybe you can argue if you want, but I think to protect fighters, I think that's the ref's job. I think he protected Randy Brown from sustaining any more needed damage. I think Bonfim had a great game plan, outstriking Randy Brown with ease. And with the first grappling or clinch exchange, just knocks out Randy Brown with ease. No resistance, honestly, no resistance from Randy Brown whatsoever, except for the first like 2 minutes of that second round. Randy Brown gave him a good fight, but this fucking sucks for Randy Brown, man. Yeah, this really fucking sucks. Tough, man. Yeah, it's just tough. This is his third KO loss. I hate to see it, man. I really hate to see it. He is now officially 1, 2, 3. Hold on, let me count Randy Brown's losses or wins. Beat Nicholas Dalby, beat Brian Battle. Oh my fucking gosh. Hold on, Tapology's tweaking the fuck out right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1. Fuck off. I think he's like 8-2 in his past 10. I'm pretty sure he's 8-2 in his past 10. This is just his chance to get a ranking, But good job, Bonfim. I don't really care about him or his brother. I genuinely don't care about these guys at all. But good job for Bonfim, Sucks for Randy Brown. I think he'll be a gatekeeper for the rest of his days. Maybe he'll get another chance. Maybe he'll get a Wonder Boy next, honestly. He might get a Wonder Boy next. Sucks for Randy Brown, though, man. It's terrible to see this happen. But Bonfim versus Brown, the entire card, the entire main event, the entire main card ending in finishes. What a card. I love this card. I enjoyed it. I watched some of it at work. I had a hoot and a holler. I'm about to go watch a movie in a little bit within an hour. So I'm going to get this video up to you guys in the meantime. But good job, Bonfim. Good job, Morales. Good job, Medic. Good job, Padilla, I guess. And great job, Christian Leroy Duncan. I think Christian Leroy Duncan, Uros Medic, and you could give it to Bonfim as well. Performances of the night. Performance of the night. It was pretty good. So good card, good scrap. That was UFC Fight Night 111. Bonfim versus Brown. I went 6-6 on the card. I went 6-6, so not that all too well. Fuck, can they please stop replaying this knockout, man? This is disgusting. All right. Peace. It was your boy Trash Man MMA. Tune into the next one, bro. Check out my Instagram. Check out my Twitter, both at Trash Man MMA. It was your boy. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you're new. I appreciate the love and I appreciate all the support on the recent videos. So thank you very much. See you in the next one. Peace.